If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, clap your hands. If you're ready for a story, rub your tummy. If you're ready for a story, rub your tummy. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, rub your tummy. If you're ready for a story, sit real still. If you're ready for a story, sit real still. If you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, if you're ready for a story, sit real still. Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome to Storytime with Miss Holly. Today, we're going to be doing one of Miss Holly's favorite stories of all time. Now, can you guess what we might be doing our story on today? Here are some clues. Look at my ear. Let's look at Miss Holly's ears. What do you see on the ears? Yeah, there's a rose and the colors. And if anyone can read my shirt, it says what story we're going to be telling today. That's right. We're going to be doing Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is one of Miss Holly's all-time favorite stories. I have been reading this book since I was a little girl, about your age and younger, actually. I started reading this book when I was 2, and so around, younger ages and on. This story is one of my very favorites, and I can't wait to share this with you. So if you're ready, and we have our listening ears on. Have our listening ears on. Okay. Now remember, we gotta try to stay still. We gotta listen to the story. And we might get up and run out our sillies if we need to. There's a part in the story where we can stand up and run out some sillies if we need to. Okay, here we go. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, a young prince lived in a shining castle. And though he had everything his heart desired, the prince was spoiled, selfish, and unkind. But then, one winter's night, an old beggar woman came to the castle and offered him a single rose in return for shelter from the bitter cold. Repulsed by her haggard appearance, the prince sneered at the gift and turned the old woman away. But she warned him not to be deceived by appearances, for beauty is found within. And when he dismissed her again, the old woman's ugliness melted away to reveal a beautiful enchantress. The prince tried to apologize, but it was too late, for she had seen that there was no love in his heart. And as punishment, she transformed him into a hideous beast, placed a powerful spell on the castle and all who lived there. Ashamed of his monstrous form, the beast concealed himself inside his castle, with a magic mirror as his only window to the outside world. The rose she had offered was truly an enchanted rose, which would bloom until his 21st year. If he could learn to love another and earn her love in return by the time the last petal fell, then the spell would be broken. If not, he would be doomed to remain a beast for all time. As the years passed, he fell into despair and lost all hope, for who could ever learn to love a beast? Do you think you could love a beast? Well, let's do some storytelling and find out. So then the story opens with one of our main characters, Belle, and Belle is living in a small town with her father, and she's kind of treated differently. People think that she's weird because she likes to read, and she wants something out of her life that is different. You know how she wants to do something different with her life. And she loves her father very much. Well, one day her father, Maurice, he is an inventor, and he goes off to an inventor show, and he gets lost on his way, and he stumbles upon this old castle, and he goes in to just get away from the wolves that are chasing him. And you have to run really, really hard. You jump and you have to run. And he stumbles upon this old castle. And he goes in to just get away from the wolves and get out of the cold. And then he realizes this castle is alive. Things that aren't normally alive are alive. Like we have a candelabra named Lumiere and a clock named Cogsworth. And everything is alive. Well, then the beast comes. And the beast thinks that Maurice is just here to see him and to make fun of the beast. Then Maurice is taken prisoner. Well, Belle is worried about her father, so she sets off to go find her father, and she stumbles upon the castle as well, and also realizes that the whole castle is alive. And she meets the beast, and he is not very nice to her, and she says, "I'll take my father's place." So now she's stuck in the castle. And then she befriends all of the characters that are in the castle. She wants nothing to do with the beast. But of course, because we know from the beginning of the story, there's a spell, and he needs to fall in love. So then from there, the beast and Belle kind of get to know each other. And then, because from earlier in the story, we had Gaston, he wants to marry Belle, but she kind of tells him no, and he's mad about that. So then he decides, well, if I can't have her, nobody can have her. And so he decides to go and hunt down the beast and try to kill him so that he can marry Belle. And so then he gets this big crowd together, and they march towards the castle, and they try to get to the beast. And then Belle is on her way to get to the beast because she realizes she still that she loves him and she wants him back. And then all the while, the beast he's in love with Belle, but she's left because she wants to be with her father, and the beast he loves her, so he lets her go. And there's just a lot going on, guys. There's a lot going on. So, does anybody have a guess as to what happens in the end? If you've already read the story or you've seen the movie, then you can, but let's not spoil it for everybody. But let's what do we think happens in the end? Does anybody have guesses? You're right. The Belle and the beast end up together, and we think that the beast is dead, but he's really not. And then she tells him that she loves him, and he turns back into a human, and he's a prince. And then everyone is happy. Oh, it's just one of my all-time favorite stories because it shows that you can be friends with somebody who's different than you, and that it's okay to be different than everybody else, and it's okay to like the things that you like. And just because and everyone is different, and everyone likes different things, and that's okay. And it's one of my very favorite, like I said, it's one of my all-time favorite stories. I love Belle because I like to read too. I have worked in a library, and I want to be a librarian as my job. So thank you for coming to Storytime today. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.